are back. We are here.
Hi, hello. Oh my goodness. I've missed you. Hi. Welcome everybody. Oh, this always feels good. The beginning are always like stressful. I think I'm good now. We can start.
You got it out. You're good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't, you get jazzed up. We are good to go. So, what are we doing today?
Oh, like today we are I know that school started like a long time. I mean, it's not few weeks ago and maybe about a month from other places of the world. I think it will be great to do like a back to school segment, and I feel like it's going to be a great show. Just because I don't know if people remember, schools have been closed for at least 18 months, the past 18 months now. And now that most schools had reopened, I know in New York, we just in most of the school we just reopened like what about few weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, and I just feel like it's will be really good to actually take this time and just acknowledge all the teams that have been working diligently to make sure that the school is safely opened. And there have also been like new teams that have been created, like they have new team to make sure that everything goes well in school. And I also especially want to thank like the cleaning team. Like
Mm,
we don't talk about it, but those are people who work diligently designing high schools. They make sure that all each desk are wiped and clean. They come and they wipe door knocked every 1 hour, every few hours. It's it's just amazing to see how like administration or the staff have been working so diligently to make sure that our kids, family members, friends are safe. So it's just amazing. And I feel like this is like a special addition to my heart, because since that I am a new teacher, who I
yeah.
can say it, I can say it. Um, it's just interesting to see how schools have been working, and a special thank you to like principals, administration, secretary, every single staff in schools that have been working to make sure that every single kids are all safe and feeling empowered to come back to school and have their social life back. It's just amazing, and we can't thank them enough. And it's really good that our co-host today, which we welcome him back, it's actually a vice principal for a school. So what a perfect reunion for us.
Yeah, so it's definitely kudos to all of the teachers and the staff, and as you said, the cleaning staff. Oh my
Mm,
goodness, that is such a huge job.
yeah.
And But yeah, to get our kids back in school now in Canada, we did have in-class sessions last year as well, but it was only about two-thirds capacity, because people had the option to also school from home if that was what worked better for them, and that was worked better for us. We had my daughter at home, but yeah, now everybody's in, everybody's all there, and so yeah, it's our back to school welcome back, and now, as you said, we've got a special behind the scenes. We've got you behind the scenes. We've got Christopher, who is also behind the scenes, and I used to be a teacher, so
I
I
know.
have the sort of past view of it all. So yeah, here we go. This is so exciting.
I
But
know.
of course, we need to start with the Global Bistro.
Welcome, Christopher, please, because I can wait to see what you have. I can't wait.
We're gonna bring him up.
This is like one of my favorite part of the show. Actually, talking about food. Everybody knows I'm such a huge fan. Food. I'm such a huge fan. Everything related with food, I am there.
All right. Well, we can't let Christopher miss out on the food, so here he comes.
Hello.
Hi.
You guys
Hello.
like my back to school outfit? I have my backpack
Oh,
on,
you are set.
glasses.
That's
Hi,
great.
beautiful
That's
Kim
great.
and beautiful Inrich. How are you guys
Hi.
doing?
Oh, thank you very much. It's really nice of you to calling for us beautiful. Thank you very
Please.
much.
Yes.
You're handsome as well. So Thank
Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you. Welcome back. You are a co-host today.
I am so excited. I feel so honored. I'm like, oh, I'm not a guest today. I'm be co-hosting with you guys. That's pretty awesome.
That's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool. I love the outfit. I love the back to school outfit. And I feel like this is such a like as a welcome back, like as having you as our co-host, we couldn't have had a better team than like talking about school because you're a vice principal of a school, among many other things that you do, which I think our audience know that already because we kind of did a like what about you section before, and we would dive into it a little bit further later to see what's like what's new with you. But before, as Kim mentioned, we can't do anything on an empty stomach. Okay, so I'm gonna kick us off because obviously I'm feeling a bit hungry and like I'm while you guys will be doing your thing, I'll be taking bites. I'm super excited. So I made us fish today.
Ooh.
It's not looking great, but I tried my best. Hopefully, you guys will be able to see it. So I made it
Ooh.
roasted fish,
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Amazing.
and then I made them with like fried plantains. Let me actually bring them closer. That's what it looks, right? And I have my special sauce on this side. Let's see. Oh, great. Unfortunately, I forgot to grab the fork, so I only have a spoon. So basically, is to eat my fish with my plantains and my vegetables. Oh, shit. It actually looks really good on camera. Oh,
It
It
looks
does.
really good.
That looks amazing.
Like, I don't even want to bring my food out anymore.
it all looks amazing. Okay, so this is really spicy, guys. I have my way of using mayo, which I take a little bit and I mix it with my spices. It's like when I have
Wow.
my restaurant, this will be a killer. Okay, those are regular plantains. They've been fried, so I can just dip them in and like.
Yeah. Just
Very
to the screen.
Mm-mm-mm. Let's try the fish. And okay, one special thing. I have some raw onions and some cooked. Personally, I like the whole onions better with fish. That's how we eat them. It's really good. The fish has been roasted, so it's well cooked, and so usually you can say it's just yummy. Oof, the combination is just amazing.
Now, I have a question. It's not about your fish, but it's about what you're doing right now. I know that we have friends that are from Indonesia, and they eat with their hands. They eat everything with their hands, their rice and everything. And I often see you picking through your food. Is that is that a thing in Africa? Do you eat with your hands, or is it just because you didn't bring a fork?
Okay, no, it depends on the meal. Personally, fish, most people eat it with their hands.
Okay.
And then I feel like if people are trying to be extra fancy, then they will grab the fork. But the best way is to eat with your hands.
Same thing with us.
More on the food than your utensil. I have to make it clear. Focusing more on the food than the utensil. Hence the hands. Okay. So just for you guys, not for me, I'll take another bite.
You're so good to us.
So nice. You're so kind.
Very fine.
I called you beautiful and everything.
So there it is.
Wow.
It looks so good.
I have vegetables on the side, just extra vegetable.
Yep.
So there it is. It's just yummy. So
All right, Kim, what did you bring us? I can't see this fish anymore.
All right, am I up? Okay, so since we are on our back to school theme, I went back to the days when I was in Japan and my boys were in school. And in Japan, which it's kind of a thing in the United States, it's really not a thing in Canada, but the school provides lunches for the students. And in Japan, these are amazing lunches that the school provides. So we don't have to do the whole morning pack a lunch routine that I have to do here in Canada. So now every year there are 2 or 3 days a year where there is something going on that the school lunch is not going to happen. Either they have a field trip where they have to go somewhere else, so they have to take a lunch with them, or for, usually that's what it is. But there's 2 or 3 days a year where the kids don't get lunch at school, and so the parents have to make them a lunch. Now, this all started in preschool. For my oldest son, he brought home a letter from the preschool that said, it was from the teachers to the parents saying, we're having a trip to the zoo, and the kids are really excited about bringing their lunch from home, their bento. And so, it would be really nice if you made it a special thing for them because they're really excited. So of course I took that to heart, and I decided I was going to make a special lunch for my son. And what I made him was something very much like this.
Every time I heard I took it to heart, I know we're gonna be blown away.
So knowing that my son is looking forward to some kind of very, very special lunch. Now we pack their lunches in a little box like this. And so when he opens it up, he gets
Oh my gosh.
That is so cute.
Now, admittedly, when I have more time to do this, it actually looks a little bit better, but you get the idea.
That is so cool.
This broccoli is kind of looking like his ear here, and it's not. So I'll move it. There we go.
Oh,
so
that is so cute.
That is really impressive.
So I made him, yes, and this is what they call this, a karaben, because it's a character bento, and it's a thing in Japan.
Yeah,
and so this was so it's rice is the main, and then all kinds of just veggies and things on the outside. And sometimes I would do just the rice was fancy and everything else would just be normal. Sometimes I would make the other things into things, like broccoli make great little trees. These little mushrooms make great little trees.
Aww.
And if you notice my Pokeball there.
Yes, I saw that.
That is so cool.
So
Yeah, like no shade. I feel like if you are in America and like you have an Asian mom and then those lunch boxes and you come to school and somehow kids are like, can we exchange lunch? Of course, with COVID now, like regulation, kids can't do that. But I know that before kids wanted to like exchange lunch and you open your classmate lunch and then you see like, oh, wow, why?
Yeah. Well, and I feel really guilty because I've never done this for my daughter. I did it for my sons all through their school. But because she has to take a lunch every day, there's no way I could do this every day. It was because it was once or twice a year. So so I have decided this year I am going to do something like this for her a few times a year. She's actually really excited to get her hands on this because
I'm about to call my mom and say, why didn't I ever get a kettlebell?
But you see, I shot myself in the foot with this because I did this in his preschool year. I did this. And of course, preschool at that time was, he was in there for 3 years. And then so in that time, his little brother also gets into the preschool. And so when trip to the zoo day comes around again, I overhear my older son saying to my younger son, "Oh, wait till lunchtime. You are going to be so blown away." So I'm thinking, now I have to do it again. And he loved them so much. He got so excited about them that I couldn't stop. I couldn't just give him a normal lunch anymore. And he got into like 4th grade. And I said, you're 4th grade now, and none of your other friends take lunches like these. I would totally not be offended if you wanted just a normal lunch to be the same as everyone else. Mm-hmm. And he looked at me and he says, "Oh, well, okay." So of course I couldn't stop.
Of course.
And it got to when he was in school, his friends would all gather around his desk every time it was home lunch day for the opening, because I always made it a secret. He wasn't allowed to look at it until lunchtime.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
his friends would literally gather around his desk to see what I had done that time. And then they would start sending notes home with him with requests. Next time, can you make this character? Next, because I always based it on some kind of character, whether it was a video game character or a cartoon character.
That is
That's pretty
incredible.
cool.
You'll never
So
forget
yeah,
that.
I have a whole album of lunches that I've made.
That
Wow.
is so
That's
awesome.
pretty cool. Christopher, let's see. What do you have for us?
Okay, so I did a little special thing. I did what I used to eat compared to what I eat now.
Ooh.
So back to school edition, you know. So back in the day, the first thing I thought of today when I went to go grab my breakfast item is sitting in Africa, being on my grandmother's front yard porch, and well, let me just show you. I used to constantly eat Nutella. And when we didn't have bread, I would just eat it with the spoon. It was so terrible, but so good. And we always, you know, balanced it out with a fruit item, or here it has some grapes. But I was still am pretty obsessed with Nutella. Now I just, you know, add it to an acai bowl or a smoothie, make it a little fancy. But that was my item. Now, as an adult, what do I typically eat on a daily basis? Starbucks. This is literally my breakfast, lunch, dinner. I even got this beautiful custom, it was not customized, but this is the cup that I've wanted forever, and my coworkers graciously gifted it to me because I drink coffee all day every day. But this is basically my meal. So it's just crazy to see as a child, you know, the thought and the effort that we put it behind our meals compared to what I'm eating now. Anyways, it's a liquid diet.
That's true. As we grow up, it does change. It does change. That's
Mhm.
true. Hmm. That's pretty interesting. Thank you. That's it's high. I mean, we do think about it that way. Like it's important to notice that and maybe go back to those healthy habits as adults, because we actually need those nutrients a lot more than most of our kids. Like it's important to keep that balanced diet, Christopher.
I know, but we get so busy. I forget. It'll get to maybe 2 or 3 o'clock, and I'm like, did I eat today?
Oh yeah,
Literally.
like
Thank goodness for my secretary and for my amazing employees, because they're constantly like, if I'm on the run, they'll have like literally an energy bar and they'll pass it to me. And they're like, oh, did you eat? Can I go pick up some food for you? I'm like, thank you so much. But I have to go.
oh, that's amazing. That's a great team there. It's that's
Love
it's
my
really
team.
good to rely on each other. And I think that even in the classroom, I can say that now as a teacher.
Yeah,
Even in the
welcome to the club.
thank you. Even in the classroom, we ought to rely on one another. We're like that's how we're better, and that's how we're able to provide like good thing to our students, to our children. It's just amazing to see that teamwork, collaboration, right?
Completely.
Talking about that, like we know about you already, and like we just wanted to know what's new, from last we saw you here. What's new?
Well, I can't believe it's been a few months since I've been here. I feel like it was yesterday.
Like Kim, how long has it been?
We said
It,
like 5 months.
yeah, 5 months, 5 months. So almost a half a year. Yeah, yeah.
That is crazy. I feel like I was just here with Tanya. We were laughing hysterically, and oh my goodness. But since then, it's been so much has happened. I've released my first debut album, which I am so happy that it's over and out. That was the biggest thing. So that journey, and I just received my numbers yesterday on how it performed. Because I released it on a Sunday for people who don't know, music charts and their numbers start from Friday to Saturday. So me starting on Sunday was a bigger risk because I lose 2 days of numbers. But even with those 2 days, I was impressed for an independent artist. I had hundreds, I think it was 347 listens just on Spotify. And then my Apple Music numbers came in today, and it was 200. I can't remember exactly, but it was in the 200. So for me, I know it's not in the millions or thousands, but for someone who did it completely by themselves, I was very proud. I had no, promo. I didn't buy any promo packages or anything like that. I didn't convince, an influencer to put me on their TikTok or anything. So for it to come out like genuine streams in the hundreds was very huge for me in a matter of a couple of days. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Definitely.
and it's a great album, and I've been listening to it. I'm on your lists in your numbers.
You're one of my numbers. Thank you so much. We're gonna get Inrich there. We're gonna
Oh,
get her out.
okay. So I should not say this on TV. So I would just like, yay!
There you go. Yeah, it's called. You didn't tell everybody what it is. It's transparency.
Yes, it's called Transparency. I've always known that my first album was going to be an open book about me. I grew up very not communicating with others. One, due to me, my first language wasn't English. And then two, just me being more reserved, going to several different schools. I wasn't able to establish relationships with other people. So I turned to writing. So for me as an adult, I always promote mental health with kids and with adults. So transparency was a way for me to say, hey, this is everything that I went through. I want you guys to understand that you can go through these moments and make it out on top as well. And I'm here for you guys. So everyone, a lot of people look at me and they think, he got it all together. He has his master's. He's an assistant principal. He's, fulfilling his dream in music. He drives this. He lives here. He travels all the time. But they don't know the internal battles that as adults that we go through. Even if you look at my cover art, you see a beautiful, it's not my body, but you see this beautiful body and the head is completely just smoke. So it just shows that from the outside, things may appear beautiful, but internally we are going through our, our struggles. So I'm here to help clear that smoke and here to help anyone in need through my music and through my words with transparency.
Oh, that's really good. And
Yeah.
just to tell you, and just jump, I'm just gonna go back a little bit to what you said earlier. I feel every single person should celebrate every single victory. It doesn't matter like how big it is or how small it is. Like every victory are yours. And I feel like in today's society, and especially myself, we compare ourselves, our victories to others, and we don't have the same lifestyle, we don't have the same opportunities, we don't have the same background. Okay, and it's important for us to take a step back and acknowledge that, and celebrate every single thing that we accomplish, because they're still our success. It doesn't matter on what scale, but you're definitely better than what you were yesterday. You
Completely.
still have like 200 people listen to it. Like it could have been just one person, and even if it's just one person,
Even if
still
it
a
was just
victory,
one, just
right?
like you said, Enrich, you have to just celebrate your victories. No, I completely agree with you. I literally wrote that down because I want to remind my students that at the end of the day, I always go on the sound system and say the goodbye message to them. And I try to give them some like positive words to leave with. So I'm definitely going to use you for my inspiration next week. Okay.
Thank you. It's free
I, for now.
for now.
For now.
Thank you.
All
Oh,
right. So yeah. So let's see, because since Christopher's been away for 5 months, he needs to catch up with us as well. So Inrich, tell us what's new with you.
Okay, so okay, I wasn't prepared for this. Thank you. So,
Isn't her
okay.
lighting amazing, by the way?
It looks
Thank
amazing.
you, thank
Yes.
you, thank you, thank you. I feel I don't know if it's the teaching thing. I don't know. I just feel like I am not there just yet, like 100%, as it's my first year teaching because I just started teaching. Sorry, not that other word. I just started teaching, and I feel like being a teacher, you're a little bit more conscious of different things. Like you want to have a good impact on your students. Your outfit are carefully selected. You want to be close to them, and you also want to make sure that you're that support that they need. Because our students come from different, I don't know, from different part of the world, and they all have different stories and different needs, and like just being able to just being there. I think that was one thing that I like about being a teacher. And as a first year teacher, I get to be like an advisee, basically where I have a set of students in school that I'll be following towards until they graduate, because I'm and then basically I'll be that voice of conscience, like, have you done your homework? Are you're not on time in school? Why? Make sure to be on time. Okay. It's pretty cool. So there's that part to it. And what else? I think since you've also been here, oh yeah, we haven't talked about it just yet. I think Hmm. We should do a special segment for that one. We have like
I want to know now.
I have something that's out there already, and we haven't talked about it just yet, and I think we will. Um, I feel like we should do a special segment about it with other people, because I want to hear other people's struggles about uh, that life, or um, how will I explain it without revealing too much about that part of their life. It's very interesting. So yeah, I can't say it just yet, Christopher. I'm sorry.
Fine, I'll tune in next time.
Thank you. Thank you. So yes, and one more thing. I feel like I'm also very blessed. Like every single day I get to notice that a little bit more. And everything that I do, I see fruits that are like my seeds are growing into beautiful fruits, and I'm very blessed. So yeah, I feel like that's about it.
Yes. What about
Nice.
you, Kim?
Well, I haven't done a lot of really great changes like both of you have done in the last 5 months. But I'd say for me, the biggest what's happened is that my daughter is going to school now. And that is huge for us because, like I said, we had the option to send her to school last year, but we didn't. I kept her home, and she did all her schooling online, which is challenging when you live literally right next to the school, and she can watch the kids going to school every day, and she hears them playing in the grounds at recess and lunch, and and she was stuck at home on her computer. She was a trooper about it. She really was. We made the decision because we live with my parents who are in their 80s, and we needed to keep them safe. And she understood it. She's very, very good about all of that stuff. But yeah, so she's back in the classroom now. She's so excited to be there, and it's great. It's great being able to send her out the door every day. Um, have a
I
little
think
bit of quiet time to myself.
But I also think that, sorry for Anna, I think she's having fun. Like, she's such an outgoing kid. Like, keeping
Yeah.
her home was not like easy, definitely, because like she's such an outgoing person, and like always bubbly, and she like definitely, I think she's
Yes,
enjoying
yes,
that.
she's very social, very bubbly. She did make a couple of really good friends in her online class, though, and they still keep in touch, even though they have both gone back to school and they're in completely different schools.
Oh,
They've
wow.
never met in person, but they come home from school, they're online. On the weekends, they're online. They chat with each other, they play video games together, and one day we'll actually meet her, and it'll be really exciting.
That's so interesting. So her actual school did not offer an online portion?
No, it was our whole district offered because it was an optional thing. So you only had, a couple of kids in each grade from each school that opted for the online.
Oh,
So
wow.
what they did was they made classes out of, so for she was second grade last year, so they had a second grade online class that was assigned an online teacher that wasn't connected to our school. So she didn't have any of her normal classmates in her group. She
That's
met
so
kids from
interesting.
all over the city.
Oh, wow.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, ours is different. We have a online version, but it's everything online for the whole year. But each school last year we had three different models, either come face to face or a hybrid model where some of the teachers taught kids in person and virtual. So they had like these iPads that would move with them in the classroom, pretty
Mm.
intense. Or we had some teachers who needed to stay home as well, part of our school, but taught online to virtual students. So they still stayed part of our school though. So when they came back this year, they saw their teachers in person, or their friends in person versus being online. Of course, they had different
Right.
teachers, but they were able to see each other. So that's fascinating that
Yeah.
you're going to school with different kids from different schools. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it was challenging for a lot of kids because a lot of kids, they're shy and there's not, it's hard. It's hard to really get to know the kids when you're together for an hour in the morning and then an hour after lunch, and all you've got is these little boxes with these little names.
Mhm.
So it takes them a while. It's hard, but in our area, our schools are small. Our schools are very small. So our local school here is about 200 to 250 kids.
I wish.
So yeah, it's really just, it wasn't feasible to make classes for each individual school.
Mm,
The way our school district works is they have a school location within a 20-minute, I think it's a 20-minute walking distance from anyone in that catchment.
wow.
And so we don't use school buses. Kids don't go to school by school bus because there is a school within walking distance of anyone in the city.
Gotcha.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So our
That's
schools are
amazing.
smaller.
Gotcha. I
That's
love it.
amazing.
Yeah.
Inrich, we might be moving to Canada.
That's
Let's
I'm
go.
like, that's
We can
amazing.
be roommates for now.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Because I know that, like, actually, even going back to, I mean, continue with the topic in school, like, one thing I've noticed as an advisee, like, some students are really struggling because again it feels like it's a brand new word, like
Mhm.
most of them have been home for like close to 2 years, I mean more than 2 years even, like so basically all of a sudden there's this shift back that you need to start waking up, getting ready, eat, go for transportation. It's a huge adjustment for a lot of kids, and with noticing that some students are a little bit late and some are not, like some are not, but like we have some students that are a little bit late, right?
Yep.
And it's like, how do you go about like working with them towards having them coming on time in
Mhm.
school, right? Because it is an adjustment for them as well. And imagine like kids who are challenged. I don't like the word disability. Kids who are challenged in a certain aspect where they get used to how do we call it, like a certain way of doing things, like a rhythm, and then all
Yeah.
of a sudden it has to be break and change back again, and it's a lot, it's a lot for some of the kids out there, and it's very important that like schools administrations are aware of all of that and that we're able to accommodate each of those students, because we want to make sure that we provide it's totally fair across each board, because we all having our own personal things that we are dealing with, and even teachers, I know that some teachers, some of the teachers that have been teachers for 20, 30 years, and then after that 18 months, like, you get used to that routine, and it's like you have to learn a brand new routine, and it's very, it's, you need to get used to it. and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I don't know, Christopher, in your school, have some of your staff forgot some of the things that needed to be done? Like, I know that's, like, even as a brand new teacher, I'm hearing stories sometimes like, oh, I forgot to do this last period attendance, like, and they're like, wait, I've never forgotten to do this,
mhm.
and it's just interesting. I don't know, do you have like those routine that have been forgotten as well, or
Yeah.
everything is just back on track, like nothing ever?
It's crazy because so we had different phases with teachers. So we had quite a few teachers who, just like you said, have been doing this for so long that they decided, you know what, when we went to virtual, because we had a period of time where everyone was virtual, they said, I'm going into retirement early because this is not for me. And, a lot of them didn't grow up with the technology that we have. So they had so many difficulties getting all the students on to the computer. So they ended up retiring early. And then we have the new mainstream teachers who are all about it. They were like, ooh, gadgets, everything is like flying everywhere. And, they have all their kids in, they're interacting with their students like nothing, who enjoyed it. When they came back, they're like, kind of want to go back to virtual. So we had some people who we have a virtual school in Orlando called Orange County Virtual School, where teachers could just teach virtually. So some transition to that. However, the teachers that came back to the school because they love their assistant principal, they for the most part picked up right where they left off. But some people they tend to forget those small things that they used to do, just like you said. And it's interesting because it's incorporating technology. So you would think going from virtual back to face, you would bring some of that technology back into the classroom, but we actually had some struggle with implementing that technology in a face-to-face setting. I don't know if it's because they missed being in person, so they're like, "Ooh, we're making these copies and that copies, and you get this and you get that." I'm like, that could be digitally. You could put that on the computer. You don't have to have physical papers. Um, and then during our meetings, they're like, "You know what? You're right." And they end up. My teachers are so hardworking. They spend so much time creating these amazing things and transitioning, these kids' lives, and we're so appreciative. But I'm like, you could also do this that saves some time, and it's still a huge thing for the kids as well. So yeah, I think they forget just a little bit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's pretty cool. Like, I mean, and also I feel like now a lot of materials, like, because again with the pandemic, I think one question that a lot of parents have been asking, it's how safe is it in classrooms, like
Or
it,
Kim thinks about that every day, especially with your mom and dad there. So how do you feel
yeah.
about that, and just in regards to safety? And I know you guys were talking about, because we call them custodials here, but the cleaning crew. Do you feel like it's safe that your little one is back in school?
That's the magic question, isn't it? I 100% confident in the measures that are being taken. No. But I am very confident that everybody is working really hard at it. And so yeah, and it's the we only just recently, as in like it goes official on Monday, that the kindergarten to grade 3 age group is going to be required to wear masks at school. Up to now, it has been only for 4th grade and up. And it was recommended for the younger kids, but not required. And that was a hard one for me because that was one of my biggest reasons for keeping my daughter home last year, was that they wouldn't put a mask mandate in. And to me, that's I know that masks are not the end all, but they are another layer of protection. And if we have layers of protection, as far as I'm concerned, we want them all.
Yeah.
We want them all so that we can be as protected as possible, because I know nothing's 100%. So I'm very happy that from Monday, everybody is going to be required to wear a mask. My daughter has been wearing a mask since day one, because she knows that helps. But it only really works when everyone's doing it.
Completely.
I want to throw in like an interesting question, because I do know how you feel about this topic, Kim. Actually, now that I'm kind of putting you on spot right now, because I know how you feel about
already
this.
in the middle. Go ahead.
It's like, so talking about mask mandates and vaccines, like, because it's for safety, as you're mentioning, it's just a layer of protection. How are you feeling about like teachers or um who are feeling that they should not get vaccinated and that we are violating the right of like, so they don't have to get vaccinated? As a parent, when you see a teacher or say those things, how are you feeling?
That is a very delicate topic.
I think it's delicate anywhere.
Yeah. And I get it. I understand to a point the opinions and that out there, and I'm not 100% sold on the whole vaccine mandate thing. But I'm also, just personally, because of my feelings and my situation, and I'm at the core, I was a scientist before I was anything else. That was my original chosen profession was science.
We're learning things today.
I know.
Yeah.
So good.
So I trust science, and I think that there are reasons for being hesitant about the vaccines or not wanting to get the vaccines. But I also think that there comes a point where for certain things, it's not basically just saying it's my right to choose, when it's not only affecting yourself. I think that loses a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Because I have a right to feel that my child is safe at school. I have a right to feel that we can go out and know that everything that can be done is being done. And I think that when people are saying, well, you don't have the right to tell me what I want to put, what I need to put into my body. It's like, well, okay, but then where does that leave us if you don't want to do it, and it's been proven, and this is where people will refute it, of course, because they always do, that it is effective in helping to keep everyone safe. Where do you draw the line between your personal opinions and your personal rights and the rights of everybody? And it was actually, I read something just yesterday about two different cultures. It was about the indigenous cultures, which is a really big thing in Canada right now. But it was the indigenous way of looking at life is very different from the Western way of looking at life. Westerners grow up with this idea that I have rights. And the indigenous people, who are generally much more connected to nature, connected to the world, they see it that they don't see it as that they have an inherent group of rights. They see it that they have a set of obligations. They have an obligation to keep the world safe. They have an obligation to value the world that we live in. They have an obligation to respect the communities around them. And those obligations are what is the core to their culture. Whereas in Western culture, it seems like, especially these days, the core is I have the right.
Mhm.
And, where does that come in a community?
I could completely see your point. And for me, when I hear this, I always think of I could completely understand you having a fear of putting something in your body. That's one thing. But what actions are you taking to ensure that everyone else is safe around you? So saying, hey, I'm not going to get vaccinated. Okay, I'll respect that. But are you wearing your mask? Are you being responsible and not traveling? But if I see you in Miami partying with all these people and then you with no mask on and you're choosing not to get vaccinated, that now you're becoming irresponsible. And that's my opinion. I started out being someone that I was scared. I didn't know, I'm a person that I didn't take any medication. Ibuprofen was something I didn't take. I would just literally, like, if I had a hangover, drink some water, I'll be okay the next day. But as I did my research some more, and when I saw how affected other people were, I felt a duty, especially me being on campus with all these kids. I would feel terrible if me not being vaccinated caused a student or someone else, harm or got them sick. So I did choose to get vaccinated. And if I didn't, I would be making the right choices of keeping my mask on, not traveling, and not because it's a right, but out of fear. So I feel like that's the major thing. If you're not going to get vaccinated because you're fearful that something may happen to you when you get the vaccine. I had someone who was allergic to what was in the vaccine, so they can't get flu shots. They cannot get put under, so they couldn't get the vaccine. That's a logical reason. However, put your mask on, stay safe, and don't, you can't do these reckless things and be in the clubs and be around all these people and then expect to be safe or keep others safe. So I see what you're saying, Kim.
That's pretty cool. I don't know. I mean, I like your views and what you're saying, especially about the fear thing. Like, I've from talking to many people, and I've know that some other people have been saying, oh, I chose to be vaccinated because I wouldn't want to be the cause that, why one of my children or one of my students got sick because of me. Like, I don't want to carry that on my conscience. At least that was one thing that I've heard from a lot of teachers, and it's admirable. Yeah. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that.
Putting her
Well,
on the spot.
yeah, but okay, we need to lighten
Lighten.
things up a little bit. So I want to listen to a little bit of music. Now I'm actually hoping that this will work because I don't have a video to put up. So I'm hoping that the sound is going to come through with this. So we're going to give this a try. We would like to listen to something from Christopher Marciano's Transparency. It is from Transparency, yes?
Yes.
Yes. And so this is Heart Belongs to You.
Ooh, we can hear the stories after.
Can you hear it?
What is that? I can hear it.
Have I got the wrong song?
Yeah, I was like, I don't think this.
I was like, I'm vibing.
I'm grooving. I'm like, this is really good. But Christopher's
And I'm
face
over
is
here
telling me
like-
something's wrong. And that is why we love being live. You know what? It's okay. All right, let's try this again. Now I know where I am. Heart Belongs to You. That was, just so you know, that was I Won't Let You Down. So you've gotten a little sneak of something else. All right.
There we go.
That you love me, but baby, I was foolish.
Kim, I think when you muted, there we go.
Would be cruel. 'Cause baby, I just really wanna spoil you if you let me. Show you the things that you never know, believe me. No, no more. I just need you in my arms. Everything feels just like home. This feeling is gone. I don't really wanna think about it. 'Cause baby, at the end of the night, no. Oh, my heart belongs to you. You, you, belongs to you. You, you, my heart belongs to you. You, belongs to you. Not believing, but ended up so dancing. Hey, winding to the rhythm. Right now I feel like I'm just part of you. Hey, let's go. No, more. I just need you in my arms. Everything feels just like home. This feeling is gone. I don't really wanna think about it. 'Cause baby, at the end of the night, no, my heart belongs to you. You, belongs to you. You, my heart belongs to you. You, belongs to you.
Okay, so
You just got me so nervous. I'm performing that song for the first time on the 15th.
Oh,
And it's like my biggest show ever. It's called Immerse in Orlando, where they shut down downtown. They put stages throughout downtown, and I did it in 2019. And they put like all these like amazing immersive like projects where you interact with lights and all that. So this year I applied for it. I got in last year, but they canceled it because of the pandemic. So when I applied for it this year, I was so excited. I thought I was just going to get the little stage. And they're like, oh no, we want to give you the main stage. And I was like, I'm not ready for that.
like, get out of here.
I called my dancers. I have a whole gospel choir coming. Like, oh, it's just so much. And they gave me 15 minutes and all these screens. I'm like, channel your Beyonce, Marciano.
oh,
Nice, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited, but so nervous.
Oh, I wish like we could go there and like cover it and like play it live throughout.
Oh,
Right.
amazing.
Is it like on the weekend? Like you said, what, the 15th?
Yeah, it's gonna be on a Friday night. Yeah.
Wow.
mm.
Mm.
There you go, business trip, Inrich.
I have school on Friday. I have school on Friday.
I need to do another show in New York. Last time I was there was 2019 before the pandemic.
Please,
Mm.
when you come in New York, for sure, I will be streaming. I will be there for sure.
Oh,
That would be fun. Oh my
then
god!
we can go to Canada.
Yeah, you come up here.
Congratulations again. That's amazing.
Thank
I
you.
almost stood up to start dancing, and then I remember that it's just a laptop. It's not like a whole camera. They put it off my body, and it wouldn't look really nice. Simple movement, like sitting and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah. So
Yeah.
what does that song mean to you? Like,
Heart Belongs to You. I wrote every single song on my album. That's one thing that I really want to do because it's personal to me. It's my story. So I was very OCD. I didn't want anybody like, oh, we want to write this part. I'm like, no, I'm writing this next album maybe, but this album was on me. So I wrote this song. When you hear the words, it sounds like it's a sad song because the other person doesn't want you, but it's whenever I hear it makes me happy because it shows that you're putting in your whole effort, even though you might have messed up or you might have done something wrong. You're putting your whole effort to make it right and show the person that they belong to you, and basically you guys belong to each other. So that's lyrically what it means. For me, it was just more of like my heart belongs. I'm closing the show with this song, but my heart belongs to everyone. I'm going to continue to put an effort and be, just like you said, be a better person tomorrow, even better than what I am today, and even better than what I was yesterday, to continue to show you guys that, I won't let you down. I'm here and my heart belongs to you.
So that actually brings me to my next thing, and I'm flabbergasted by how fast the time has gone.
I know,
because we've got so much more we want to talk about. But what you just said reminded me of something that I found of yours from 2017, where someone asked you a question. And you had a very interesting answer. I loved your answer to this question. And I want to kind of come back to that because 2017 was 4 years ago. So we're almost at the 5-year mark. And that is significant to this little clip. So let's have a look at this.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years. That's a great question because, 5 years ago, not even, maybe a year ago, I would have never thought I'd be doing half of the things that I'm doing now. Like performing at over 18 shows and getting on a plane to share my music and meeting some amazing, talented people. I would have never thought, honestly, never thought. So for me, it's a simple answer, but probably not the typical answer because I don't want to see myself in 5 years. I don't want to try to see myself in 5 years. Doing that just limits the possibilities that are out there, and I almost feel like I'm restricting myself to those possibilities that I placed in this 5-year box. And why do that to myself when there's so much more out there? So instead, I choose to get inspired daily. I remain humble and thankful, and I remind myself that today may change how I see tomorrow, and that's okay. Because I'm still writing this crazy story, one page at a time. And I just can't wait to share what I have with everybody, That's it.
I was a little emotional.
I know, I was watching you. I was like, oh.
I know. It's just, thank you for that because I completely forgot about that clip. And I feel like as adults, we need that reminder of what you've done. And we all go through our mental health battles, and especially with the release of an album, you question yourself and just all these different things come to mind. And just seeing that just gives like, wow, you did that. It just makes me proud to see what I've done in the past few years. It's crazy. Thank you for that. I feel like I needed that more than anybody.
There you go.
I got a comment. Sorry, Kim.
Right.
That video was taken 5 years ago. You haven't changed much.
Thank you, girl. Because I was like, ooh, did I gain weight?
Still magnificent. Actually.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Because I was like, oh my gosh, my hair.
Yeah. No, and I actually, because I double checked, I checked a couple of times that I had the date right on that, because like Inrich said, it looks like it could have been just recently that you took some of that video, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Well, that was
Wow, that's
crazy.
amazing.
That was years ago. Crazy.
I mean,
2021.
before we close, I just literally still wanted to take a minute to just thank like the cleaning team in every single school. Like, I know we talked about it at the beginning of the show, but I don't think that we give them like a
Enough
huge
credit.
thank you. Like, we
Mhm.
should definitely, like, I feel like they deserve a huge thank you, because I
Completely.
sometimes I stay in school a bit later and then I see like how they work, and I feel it's like just a huge thank you. Thank you very much, because like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
make
And not even just in the schools, everywhere. Like cleaning staff have got to be the most unsung heroes
Mhm.
of everything, because they deal with all of it, and they do everything they can to keep
What's
us
the day?
as safe, yeah, as possible.
yeah.
Completely agree. Now I want to go throw them a party or something. 'Cause my
Good, right?
so hard. They work so hard.
They definitely deserve kudos.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you. I wish then oh no. Mm. When we did, is it not Tiaha? I'm very bad with name. Kim. No. When we did the show with Christopher on mental health, she
Oh,
was
Tanya.
Tanya,
Tanya.
Tanya.
I knew it was something.
Ta,
So
ta, ta, ta.
What are you saying?
I'm like very bad with name. I'm sorry, Tanya. I know if Tanya was here, I know she would have had those awesome thank you thing that she was
Right?
like
She's
holding.
always got her little signs.
Like, it was gonna be
Should have
like
had something coming up. Like her
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah.
it's been like a total party. So thank you very much to our viewers. We appreciate you. And again, you can watch us on LinkedIn, not Instagram, Facebook,
Facebook,
YouTube.
LinkedIn, YouTube, and let me put this up here because I was going to run this earlier and I forgot.
If you'd like to be a guest on the Mixed Life, please check out themixedlife.com and contact us at info@themixedlife.com. We are
Yes, we
ready.
are looking for some guests. We're going to talk to some people. Get your name out there and show us what you're doing. We're looking for regular people doing amazing things.
Mhm.
Yes, and I would also like to end us off with our normal little sponsor clip, which I always play, which is Reason by Christopher Marciano.
Yay!
Because I love this line, and I love everything that it stands for.
Thank
So
you.
let's do this, and we'll say a quick goodbye.
Be the reason someone loves themselves a little more. The reason why they're inspired to take a leap of faith. Why they finally put themselves first. Whether we're miles apart or heart to heart. Never stop being the reason. You gave me your hand, you gave me your love, you gave me your strength, you gave me enough, you made me a man when times were rough, you gave me your strength so I wouldn't give up, you gave me hand to breathe, you gave me hand to breathe. Reason by Christopher Marciano.
Mhm.
Rouge and I had the same idea.
Now I'm even more nervous. I have to sing that song too.
Just getting you started.
I know. I'm like, I gotta go, guys. I gotta go.
Yeah, but and I want to finish with my favorite line from that little video clip that we played of you from 4 years ago, where you said that today may change the way you'll see tomorrow, and that's okay.
Mhm.
I think that is such an important thing, and that hit me when you said that. I was like, wow, I need to use this clip.
Okay.
I appreciate you guys so much, Inrich. I appreciate you for making me hungry today and making me want
Very well.
fish. Kim, Inrich, you guys are such delights of my life because you're so positive. It's always a good time. Very professional. So I appreciate you guys so much for being a reason in my life to be reminded that, you know, we're in this world together.
We are. We are. And we'll be back.
Yes, we'll be back anytime you need me.
All right.
Down, girl.
Doing next, right? You guys know what I'm doing after this, right? I think
I see.
All right. So that's it. And we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys. Don't forget to download Transparency, the album,
Yes.
out everywhere.
The whole thing is amazing.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys. It's so great to see you.
Bye.